Good morning, Lagos, and you are welcome inside the locker room on Smooth Breakfast with Valentine and myself, Folu. Joining us in the studio, as usual, we have our guest analyst in here, Tega Onojaife, aka at Tega Supreme. Good morning, Tega.
Good morning.
Excellent. Great to have you here with us today for a Wednesday, talking all things sports.
We're trying.
And of course, great to have you, Lagos, out there. Now, we know you're listening to us on different platforms, but just in case you didn't know all the different ways that you can listen to us, we'll remind you we are streaming live. So if you go to our website, go to www.smooth981.fm, you can listen to a live web stream. You can download the app, which helps you listen to our podcast up to 24 hours later. But for even more longevity, go over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. And there you'll find all the videos uploaded, at least for Smooth Breakfast, with regards to the locker room right now. So let's jump into our first sports story for this morning. And remember to share your comments as well online. We got this in Talking Basketball. So the Cleveland Cavaliers, they've already had a turbulent season, and it's hit another bump with the team's coach, Tyronn Lue, deciding to take time off to address his health issues. Yikes. So the 40-year-old has had to leave 3 games this season due to ill health, the latest coming during Saturday's win over the Chicago Bulls. He said, "After many conversations with our doctors and staff and much thought given to what is best for the team and my health, I need to step back from coaching for the time being and focus on trying to establish a stronger and healthier foundation from which to coach for the rest of the season." Now, he put out a statement which continued, "I've had chest pains and other troubling symptoms, compounded by a loss of sleep throughout the year. Despite a battery of tests, there have been no conclusions as to what the exact issue is." That is really worrying to not only deal with that on a personal level, but then you're not there for your team. You can't move forward. I mean, Tega.
Yeah, and I think it was the best decision to just step aside and sort it out, because sometimes you'd want to wait and see what the results of the tests are, and then you are distracted with what is really wrong with me, and then you have to understand loss of sleep. Once you can't sleep, I mean, there's not
It's
so
a
much you
lot,
can
yeah.
do when it comes to decision making and anything else. So it's just hard for Cleveland to catch a break right now. When it looked like they tried to get a team together, then this hits their coach. And LeBron was talking about it, I think yesterday or the day before, when he said, losing your coach at this time of the season is like you losing your important player just before the playoffs. Is a really key thing, but he's made the best decision. Step aside, find out what is wrong with him, and sort it out. He's not the first coach to step aside. From a team. I remember Denver Nuggets coach, when he had the recurrence of the thyroid cancer, had to leave. Steve Kerr recently, when he had the back injury, and he had to take a break. But with those other coaches, he had somebody that would step in, and the difference was not very visible. Well, now it looks like LeBron is going to be co-coaching. So maybe something that people claimed he was doing before, but now we know that it's not something he was really doing. But it's a really tough for Cleveland Cavaliers. They can seem to catch a break. However, Tyronn Lue, that was a perfect decision. Get better and then come back.
Stronger.
Health is wealth, they say. As this next story is about Super Eagles captain John Obi Mikel. He will not be in the team when the 3-time African champions take on Poland in a pre-World Cup friendly on Friday. So Mikel is unlikely to make it to Wroclaw, as he's been working hard at renewing his work permit in China, where he plays for Tianjin Teda. Team administrator Daya Nebiacho confirmed this on Tuesday when he said, "We all had been hoping that the renewal would come in good time for him to fly to Poland. As it is now, it is not likely that he will make the trip." But we also gathered that midfielder Etebo is injured, and Egypt-based junior Ajayi, who was unable to secure a visa into Poland, will fly directly to London for Tuesday's clash with Serbia. The team trained twice on Tuesday with the same schedule for Wednesday before Thursday's training at match time inside the Municipal Stadium at Wroclaw. The match kicks off at 8:45 p.m. on Friday.
We also want to welcome Brutalistics into the studio. He's just joined us. Again, this traffic is harassing everybody today. Good morning.
It's real. Good morning. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, everyone. So Mikel not making it, I think somewhere in my heart, I was kind of hoping he wouldn't.
Why?
Mostly because Nigeria, we need to start looking and thinking beyond, start planning for life without him. No doubt he's an important and integral player to the national team. but you have to think about a scenario where he's not available, either through injury, and that area where he plays has been, let's be honest, it's been a challenge. Anytime he's not there, it seems to be a problem, and we need to try and figure out that, address that problem. So him not coming gives an opportunity to the coaching crew to try a number of scenarios, a number of people in that position. So let's hope he gets his work permit sorted out, probably, hopefully in time for the friendly against Serbia. If he's not available, great. It gives other people an opportunity to make a claim, even if not necessarily for Russia, for life beyond Russia, because there is going to be a Super Eagles outside of Russia. Unfortunate that Etebo is injured. Again, it gives somebody else an opportunity to play there. I'm not sure, it's John Ogu in that place. He's probably one of those who a lot of people have been saying, look, give this guy a run in that spot. He's someone I like. I've enjoyed watching play. He has a certain Mikelesque composure about him when he's in there, and I feel like he should be given a run in there. Junior Ajayi, great. Look, what I like about this scenario is that beyond the playing crew, there's a lot of improvement in the administrative setup around the team. There's a lot of forward thinking. Okay, you're not available, go straight to London and all that. So there's not a lot of that hiccup or ad hocness about the way it plays. So it's good preparation. Let's hope that we're able to sustain this through to the World Cup. And again, there's life beyond the World Cup. Let's look beyond that as well.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm not. I think I'm not even worried for everybody else. I mean, I don't mind. Mikel, we already know what Mikel will do. So him missing Poland and even Serbia, not a problem. We already know what Etebo will do. I think it's Junior Ajayi that needed to find a role on the team. But he can get the opportunity at Serbia. Yeah. So he's the only one that should really be worried. But when you hear players like Etebo, Moses, Mikel, Miss Friendly, we know where they are going to play. They are sports when they come back.
And ultimately, the unanswered question for the Super Eagles is still the goalkeeping position. Who is our number one? It's going to be interesting over the next couple of games how that plays out.
Yes, it will be. Speaking of what's interesting to see how it plays out, in tennis, Serena Williams will meet BNP Paribas Open champion Naomi Osaka in a blockbuster first-round match at the Miami Open, where Joanna Konta is the defending champion. Now, the path through the draw for both does not get any easier, with fourth seed Alina Svitolina, one of the 32 seeds, with a bye in the opening round, waiting in the second round.
Yeah, it's just a tough one, and it has brought up the debate again. Are people being punished for going to have children? Because Serena has dropped, so she has no ranking. Yeah, for now she has no ranking. I think with 2 Grand Slams this year, she can come in ranked. I mean, because she didn't go out for doping or anything else. She can come with just 2 Grand Slams. I think there's somewhere in the rules that give her that kind of rule. Otherwise, she's just in another name in the draw, and they toss it. And you can imagine that the first person she meets is flaming hot Naomi Osaka. But that's just it. So
it's not fair.
Do you understand? So she doesn't even have enough time to get matches under her belt before the competition hits her smack in the face. And then she goes on to Svitolina. So it's just one big fight after the other. She's going to have to do a lot of giant killing if she's going to get anywhere in Miami. So it's a really tough one. I think it was James Blake that said, if people go on maternity leave, they should be able to come back with some kind of ranking. Some other people say, no, why should they come back with some kind of ranking? Those people that were playing when they were not there, they fought for those rankings, so they must get it. There's just a lot of talk about it. And Serena is speaking, but Serena has her opinion, but she's not talking yet. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. But if you ask me, I think there should be a middle ground, especially for people that have children. It's a tough one, tough ask for them to come back. It's not. I know somebody's going to mention what's her name again? Kim Clijsters, that came back after 2 years and then went on to win the US Open. That's the exception. We're talking of the rule now.
But it's Serena, come on.
Yeah, and everybody says that, like, it's Serena. Let her, she can fight her way back and get to the top. And I'm just looking at all of them like,
Is it magic?
do you understand? And that's the only argument. But it's Serena now. She will fight back to the top. But it's Serena. But there should be a lot of people. I mean, look at Victoria Azarenka. For her to come back. And it was not just, it was childbirth, injury, then custody battle.
Tough.
And that custody battle was tough.
Tough stuff. We do have to take a break now. Before we do, Shego from Ikorodu says, Bros Bruta. I agree. Mikel Obi out, Joel Obi in. Obi replaces Obi. At the end of the day. And this one is in from Sharif Oluwaleke Akindi from Lagos Island. He says, I totally agree with Bruta on Mikel. Now is the time to start shopping for Mikel's replacement. All right, we'll be back after this break. Keep listening. You're talking sports here inside the locker room.
Bruta.
That's the new
What is
thing.
it with Nigerians and their inability to just
finish
take
the
whole
name?
thing.
Finish
Yeah,
the
they
name.
cut it short.
No, it's not just Nigerians. I've realized there are a lot of people that like that thing. They just cut your name short.
Your name is Tega. Oh, you're not Tega.
No, they're gonna call me T. They're gonna call me T. You know, I used to laugh. I used to call. You know, I used to call Louis Lulu. That's what people call him. Lou.
Oh dear.
Like, hey Lou.
Why?
I was like, it's
Why?
Louis. His name is just Louis Pere.
It's not hard.
But it's Lou.
I don't know.
To be
Because
honest, Louis sounds more respectful
respectful than Lou. I mean,
So,
Lou doesn't. In fact, when you think about it, Lou doesn't
You know,
sound right.
You have a point. You people from now on Afoluwake. This Folu, not talking for, excuse me. Afoluwake does. I will not answer to Folu again. Let me tell you
Alright.
something. Afoluwake.
If you try me now, I'll call you Lou.
I hear
If
you.
try
Oh,
me,
stop. Don't you
I'll
dare.
call you Lou.
Don't you dare. What is that? What
That's
nonsense?
just it. We
Okay,
just everybody
so-
just wants to be familiar, you know.
Bros Bruta. The way that you are going, someone is going to go
Bro.
from Bru,
Bro.
Rafana.
Bro Havana.
That's
Hey, yo, Brute.
exactly.
Guys, why do we keep abbreviating these names? Oh, look, we've got comments coming in. Abiodun Fatai, we see you. What's up? We'll read out your message now on the airwaves. Let's look at the live chat. Let's shrink this bad boy down. No, go ahead and chat. Okay, I'm gonna read that out.
One day I got here 7:25.
Guys, I'm ready to see a live match. Somebody take us to Russia! Russia! I'm preparing. This is like my football.
Man, do you know?
Should
my
we read
football
advert
chat.
this morning?
This
Those
is-
people that did not give you tickets to go to Russia.
no-
If it's
Russia
just
is not-
bobsled team
Russia is
girls,
not the list.
if it's just bobsled team girls, they will carry them for free. These people, they have plantation mentality in this country. That's what's killing us. Plantation mentality. Once it's Oyibo like this, our body will be charging.
Russia! Russia!
That's one World
Russia!
Cup I don't even want to go
Hey!
for. I'm quite happy watching it on TV.
No, I'll be glad to. I will go to St. Petersburg.
No, I definitely. Are you joking? I definitely want to
one
take
of
you
you
to
at St.
Russia.
Petersburg.
No,
Make me
it's
go.
okay.
If I can meet
Say hi
Putin
to
himself, that's what I
Norwegians
really
for me.
want.
It's all the Norwegians. I'm alright.
Studio guys, we're back in. Right now, inside the locker room, love is all things sports. And of course, it's you guys sending us messages as well, which we absolutely love. Use the hashtag LockerRoom981 while you're up on Twitter, or you can actually just jump into our live chat right now on the YouTube stream. And we see Abiodun Fatai, who says the Super Eagles need friendly games, starting with the Poland game and more A-list games. I'm tipping a quarterfinal ticket for the Eagles. And yes, you would say it's too early. Well, they say dreams can come true. All right, Abiodun, I like that. Dreamer, dream on.
You two can drop your contributions on WhatsApp. It's 0809 444 981. This one from Big C says, Serena Williams, is it a crime to have a kid? How can she be unranked? Serena, for Pete's sake, let Asuka go have a kid, almost die, be put in intensive care for weeks, and then come back and play tennis tournaments. Serena, after all, should just be awarded a trophy.
Yeah, after all of that,
I'm
true.
sorry. First of all, her name is Osaka. She's not evil. So you call her Azuka.
Is that what he was talking about? I was still thinking that
First
maybe
one is
there's...
Osaka. And she's not the one complaining about whether Serena should be ranked or not. She's not the one. She didn't even make any statement about it. She probably doesn't even want to meet Serena. I mean, think about it. You win a 1,000 Masters and your reward is to play Serena in your first match.
That's also tough
You
for
understand?
her.
If you are not ready, and she played on Sunday, and this match is going to be this, I think this Friday or this Saturday. So just 1 week in between. She may not have even gotten her strength back. So she's not the one. Trust me, if she had her way, she would avoid that ranking. She'd be like, pick somebody else. So wasn't happening.
So move on now. Ben Davis says Tottenham are very confident they can defeat Manchester United in the FA Cup semi-finals. After losing out to Chelsea at the same stage last season, Davis says he and his teammates, they can go one better when they meet United at their temporary Wembley home on April 21st. In his words, Davis says, and I quote, "I'm a bit late finding out the draw as I was on the flight when it was made. It'll be a bit strange in the away dressing room, but we've played there enough this year that it's going to feel relatively like a home game. We played well against United earlier in the season. That's 2-0 home win on January 31st, but we're very confident going into the game." So much confidence?
Well, I think the irony of this is that Tottenham is going to be the away team in their home ground for this game. But look, recent history suggests that there should be a measure of confidence and belief that Tottenham can carry into this game. They found a way recently against Manchester United to get results when they've needed to. That said, Manchester United has not necessarily covered themselves in glory in terms of putting in performances that people sort of expect from them. There seems to be this battle of identity. Should Manchester United be playing such a defensive philosophy? Should Mourinho be doing better? Accusations of quote-unquote bullying of certain players getting the blame, criticism. The style of Mourinho is causing a lot of, like, shall we just say, Manchester United doesn't appear to be a happy place. And going into a game against Tottenham, the FA Cup semi-final, that can also raise a measure of belief in Tottenham. But that said, Tottenham, when it comes to cup competitions or getting results, they haven't been the best at winning trophies. I think the last trophy they won was 10 years ago. Oh wait, there was a time when they used to laugh at Arsenal about not winning trophies like that. But moving on, they need to get to that point where, for them to be considered as successful and stuff like that, they need to be getting these trophies. And in order to do that, they must surmount the challenge as Manchester United. When it comes to the cups, though, Mourinho seems to know how to get these results, so it may not necessarily be that easy for them in that game. Ultimately, it's about, and they don't have Harry Kane. Chai, that's a problem.
All right, up on WhatsApp, the messages are still coming through. Don't forget that you can also tweet at us. Just use that hashtag LockerRoom981. Uncle Jay says, it's bad to think that Nigeria can't win the World Cup, and everyone says it with so much confidence. We won the Olympics before now. Leicester won the Premier League before now. It's football, and there are 22 legs per team. I beg, Nigeria for the World Cup, Jerry, says Uncle Jay. We are dreaming with you.
The exception.
We are dreaming with you. Big T says, Tega, take your time. Asuka can't speak any Nigerian language either. I'm not Japanese.
I will ungroup you. Wow.
Better call her name. Osaka is as easy to pronounce as Asuka.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's go over to some more of the stories. So Marcus Alonso says that Chelsea and Spain teammate Alvaro Morata is not happy after being snubbed for an international call-up by Julen Lopetegui. Alvaro is not happy, Alonso said, after Morata missed out on Lopetegui's 24-man squad. He says he's gone through a difficult few months with a back injury. He's now 100%, and the other day he scored. It sounds like the boys were like, they were having a drink. It's like, oh, you okay? What's wrong, bro? What's wrong, bro? You okay?
He'll be all right.
He didn't call you? I'll talk to the press.
But
I'll tell the press.
And that's what happens. That's why sometimes when you make your move, you have to think of your international career. And this guy is a young lad. Don't get me wrong. He's moving to a new country, faster pace. He has to get used to a different kind of physicality. He has to get used to a lot of things. But it is that lack of performance that will make the coach say, you are not ready or you're ready. The World Cup is around the corner. Coach needs to pick his team. And sorry, if Diego Costa is going to be scoring more, don't talk, work. Eventually, you still have time between now and the World Cup. So just try to get, in the back of the net for Chelsea, and before you know it, your name will be the first on the list. Because Spain wants to win the World Cup. It's not personal, it's results. And
it's a game.
Yeah.
So Ivory Coast Football Federation today Where is he?
Look, this
Should he send a squad?
this Nigerian national teams will have camps open for even not just friendly games, even for qualifiers, and you then have players who have left their clubs detouring for some personal reason and then show up maybe like a day to a couple of hours before they expect to play. It seems to be a problem that's peculiar to African national teams. I don't know whether it's because they feel they have some sort of like star status and think that that's an entitlement
Like
that they
arrived,
should get and things like that.
Mm.
But look, Cote d'Ivoire, like a lot of teams, looking at someone like, they really should be able to put up like a team that can function effectively without him.
I think
It's
they're
a
just
disciplinary
pained.
issue.
I think they're just pained because 1 minute he says he's not playing, then they're balling without him. They're trying to move on. Then he comes up and says, "Okay, I'll play for you," and then they put your name in the 25-man list and don't show up.
And that's the thing.
I think that's where I think they're just upset. I don't necessarily think that they need him to survive, but I think they're just upset that we could have picked somebody else.
Well, it's his loss in the sense that, look, it's 25-man team. You're not there. The 24th guy, if that's the same place that they're fighting for, gives him a great opportunity. If you're not putting to the name, somebody's going to like give you the time of day. And let's be honest, you're not even turning in, and you're not even getting a shirt. You're a bench warmer. At,
Exactly.
Manchester
If
City.
you're in Europe, you
So-
and Morata will be having this conversation over a diary session. So, I don't know.
Let him go and let him enjoy whatever he is doing. But if I were his coach and he came and he shows up, he will warm the bench the same way he warms it at Manchester City.
Oh wow, that's
we
so
don't miss him,
serious.
yeah?
So serious. What is
Wow.
serious stuff? We do have to take a very quick break now. Just before we do, do remember that we're streaming live on YouTube. So go to youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. And Nathan Njoku has sent us a message up on Twitter saying, Tega, the tennis rankings are like the UEFA coefficient rankings, Abi. You get ranked by competitions played in, position finished, and won, Abi. So how do you get ranked when you don't play for more than a year? All right, there you go. While Chinwe Nancy says, I'm sure some people want Serena to be faded out, but they would be surprised. She will bounce back and win another Grand Slam. Is it a crime to go on maternity leave?
No.
All the men clap their hands in response. Lagos, when we come back, it'll be the final few minutes of sports here inside the locker room. It's actually the end of the show when we come back.
Yes, it is. This thing is kind of, if you go on maternity leave in your place of employment and you're not around during that period where they're doing like performance reviews and things like that, should you still get
Reviewed?
Should you still get reviewed when you've not put in your
Based on
work?
your
That's,
previous performance leading to your leave.
Yeah,
I
but
think
if-
what it is, let me tell you why tennis is different. All this one people are talking story. If you did not defend the title you won last year, they take away the points and give it to someone else. That's the problem. And that's a problem with it. So Serena had a lot of points to defend and she wasn't there. So they took her points from her. So if they had left what she had,
Yeah.
she won't be this low.
Yeah.
She won't be rankless. Do you understand?
Yeah.
so they take
They take
They
the
took
points
it.
from you
that
like
Wow.
That you
Yes.
worked for,
There's
yes.
something wrong with that.
That's
Everything wrong with
That's
that. How can you
So
fight?
what happened to
for
Roger
that
this?
long?
What happened to Roger this with this photo now? He won it last year.
Yeah.
So he lost his final last year. The 1,000 points he had, they took it and then gave him the, I think, what was it, 800 and something points that he won this year. So
That's
what,
faulty.
yeah, that's what's different
keep
about
fighting,
tennis
fighting,
ranking.
fighting.
So you will not be owing themselves by the time they finish deducting.
That's
So do
faulty
you
in that
understand?
sense.
They take from you. You can't defend the point. That's where the problem is. Because if they leave her points, who wants to take her position? She left with about 9,000
3
points.
days.
You understand? The next person was like 5,000.
So wait, so they just take points are things that are available. Why would you take from somebody else? Earn your own points and
You're
go
supposed
now.
to defend your points.
Yeah.
So if you don't defend those points, it's given to the person that now won it.
That is just a tough. I'm like,
It's like it has
That's
been going
why
on
it's
like
not
that. Let them manage it.
That's why it's not. It has always been like that. Yeah. That's why it's not cut and dried like you're saying. UEFA coefficient.
it's not. But then doesn't that mean that clearly, because there is, I do think that there is a problem with it. If there's a problem with something, it should be reviewed.
Look, people have complained about it. That's the way they want to do their own. You only think it's a problem because you have seen other styles.
Fair point. Again, coming back to it, it's been the long established
Your
way of
prerogative.
doing it. And
So they don't like to just add
Adopt
points
from
from
where
anywhere. They have particular
So they
points
want
for
to
it.
keep people in the game.
They
Yeah,
have
sense.
particular points.
yeah, I mean,
Which is why they
guarantees
make
that
some
you
compulsory.
turn up.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Okay,
you
let's see
have
some of
you have
these
some people who just
messages.
pick and choose tournaments and like, yeah, okay, this one I'm not
If
doing,
you
this one I'm not
understand,
doing. So,
and that's not acceptable. So they make you have, if you're under 30, you have like 18 ATP tournaments. You must, I believe 18, yeah, that you must play. And then Monte Carlo is the only 1,000 masters that is not compulsory. So and think about it, everybody has dropped from Monte Carlo in the top 10. Roger Federer, Marin Cilic, everybody has dropped apart from Rafa Nadal because he's just coming back from injury. So he needs to play something. And he's playing. So he needs
Interesting
to
things. Emma from Africa sending this message. He's like, African players be prouding up and down because they play in the big leagues of the abroad. A lizard in Man City suddenly become alligator in Ivory Coast. Like some transformation.
but they're all reptiles. They're all reptiles.
Tyre says, have they checked all defensive MF's pockets? Somebody might have taken him mistakenly on Man City's bench because Pep G left him there. Hey, let's see some of this funny waves.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness. Donkey of the day, Tega.
I don't know any donkey.
Is it too?
I have to be, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to be, yeah, to
Donkey of the day.
We need more than prayers. Now you know. Don't change the law.
Oh,
Sit
they
down
have
and
to
be
take
looking
another
at me.
killing for them to realize
No, they
that.
will pray some more.
This is in Maryland?
Yes.
Yeah. Some kid walked in before school, shot 2
17-year-old.
people. Shot a girl he'd been dating before and shot a guy. Shot that guy, somebody that was rumored to have been dating her.
Why should somebody who is not allowed, is deemed not legally fit to be able to
carry
drink
arms.
alcohol, be able to buy a gun? Why?
Because it's America.
They'll be alright. Let them be praying.
America!
When they finish praying, they will know. If Jesus is died on the cross, say it is finished.
See how many school shootings in
Let
2018.
them be alright. Don't make the law. Pray. It will happen. Pray some more.
Okay.
Studio. And we're back inside the locker room on Smooth 98.1 talking, well, your messages really, let's be honest, because we sort of come to the end of the segment. If you're up on YouTube, you've caught a little bit behind the scenes. But we've got these messages in, up on WhatsApp. Tayo says, have they checked all defensive MF's pockets? Somebody might have taken him mistakenly on Man City's bench because Pep G left him there. While MI from Okoka says, African players be prouding up and down because they play in big leagues of the abroad. A lizard in Man City suddenly becomes alligator in Ivory Coast. That is some transformation. Hashtag bench warmers. While this is in from Shagan from Ikorodu, says Yaya Toure has forgotten that he is not the Toure of yesteryears. Like Brutal said, I would also make him a super bench warming captain for club and national team. Lots of people to a story. Dozier says, Baba Yaya is right here with me. We are having some tea right now, after which we will go to Joelegba and tour around Lekki via BRT. Don't mind me, oh, move on elephants. Baba Yaya should hang up his boots, he says. And Kenny Hetuge on the same thing, saying Yaya that's not getting game time in Man City is using Ivory Coast to catch trips. Shame on them. That's why we have almost all the presidents in their 70s in Africa. People took this thing far. They took it far. Guys, we're pretty much done. Nathan Njoku is the final comment we can take this morning. I beg, is Ivory Coast going to the World Cup? Why are the FA complaining about Yaya not showing up like they have a crucial qualifier to play? Don't they know of his big manism issues before they went to beg him to come play for them again? He will come when he's ready. But yeah, please tweet at us. We'll tweet back when we're ready. Tega Supreme at Brutalistics with an X at Valentine_Ohu.
At Folu Storms.
There you go. Coming up next, final hour, Smooth Breakfast. We got a special guest in for Lagos Talks and 981. We will be talking government accountability. We have a representative of Serap who's in the building and ready to dish.